numbers.
Battle without numbers.
Now this is Battletech
Welcome to
Oath
Battle
of
Without
Endosteel,
Numbers.
Season 4. We're going to call this episode 2 rather than make each episode its own year because people ruthlessly mock me for that. I want to give a special shout out to our audience members, specifically one A4 Atheist who said, I like this version, I assume, of the rules because it gets people to say more than 6 inches of wood over and over. Congratulations, you've now ruined that phrase for us forever. But nice job, nice. Let's hope you get
Romantic inches.
69 or more likes on that video. That
Oh
you said
my
that
God.
on.
Oh boy.
I would do it previously, but the entire last episode was all of y'all in a training simulation. So instead of a previously, I'd like to ask, as you enter the briefing room, it looks suspiciously like the Top Gun pilot training room from both Top Gun movies. But each seat has, you know, large, unwieldy 1980s electronics and such.
Yeah.
And there's like a big table that you can look down on and see all of, you know, like your battle being recreated on it, essentially. What do each of
nice.
you look like as you enter the room? Because we actually don't know what all of you look like.
Well, we probably wear. Do we wear like the mech suits in
So the
No, we
last
take
thing
a
that was
shower.
said, you took you
Oh,
were to
right.
hit the
We
showers.
hit the showers.
Right.
So
right,
whatever
right,
you
right,
could change
right,
into
right,
in
right,
10 minutes.
Right. Who wants to go first?
Well, I mean, I'll make it easy. I've already posted some photos of, I guess, a rough idea of what I'm seeing for Athena in terms of looks. Yeah, so I think she wears clothes typically in kind of like a practical style where there's like bits of gear that she kind of carries with her. Actually, that's kind of an AP question. What does like the in this era, what does the technology look like for, you know, just what people are wearing around? Like, is there kind of like a techno
You have a
kind of
pager.
vibe? Okay. Wow.
You have a cellular phone.
Okay.
It is the size of a brick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm imagining that there's like a holster on the side or like some sort of thing that has gives her access to comms in some way, shape, or form. But she's wearing mostly black with kind of like golden accents and kind of an homage to her heritage of the Menshikov estate. There's like a bit of what was the color there? Blue, I think it was. I can't remember exactly.
Sure.
But yeah, she's got green hair, very brightly colored. She's wearing purplish tinted sunglasses, or glasses rather. They're really more for like blue light and like protecting her eyes from, you know, bright things. With kind of an accent of like this pinkish purplish, almost I'm not sure how to describe the hair. I'm terrible with this. I'll have to ask my partner how to describe that later. But basically, like kind of a puffy back with pinkish purple color.
Okay. Who is the second person to enter the room?
I can go next. Celeste, probably the first thing we see is, you know, Celeste wearing some like cowboy boots.
Mm.
I think we discussed that the current Hirokin fashion is the all denim look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's
Canadian tuxedo.
She's clad head to toe in the Canadian tuxedo. But I think that the real key here. Oh, and she of course has a cowboy hat on. The real key here, I think, to note is even though she like ostensibly dresses in blue collar fashion, it's like, you know, thousands
Premium.
thousands of dollar like real snakeskin boots, or like the like
It's
most
like Tom Ford shit,
expensive denim you could possibly buy. So it's like.
Well, my question is it Kevin Federline or is it Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton. It's more like
okay,
Dolly
so it's
Parton.
authentic then.
It's authentic, but it's just it's like rich country music singer, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So it's like it's not authentic, but it's just like they still like dressing the same way they always did, but now they have a lot of money they can spend on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Angus, what's the beef?
Yeah.
What's the beef? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Angus comes in obviously late. He's obviously finishing up a phone call on his oversized cell phone. He's like, oh, yeah, look, I got to go. I'll call you back. Yeah. Right. Angus has a very slim face, slick black hair, especially from like the shower. And he's wearing a very nice polo. And it's like a little like, instead of Ralph Lauren or whatever, it's like Robinson Arms or whatever. It's like their nice like military contractor polos. So he's wearing that stuff.
He's
probably got
his getting ready for recruiting for a PMC.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. And he's probably like, he's like carrying like his suit jacket. He can't, can I have a guy carry my suit jacket instead? Behind me, I'm like, here. Actually, I walk in the room. I hold it, and I wait for a second, and I like test the room's temperature, and like, nah, actually, I don't need it. Here, take it, and like, I just hand it off to my guy.
Absolutely, you can have this.
I have a guy. Good. I have a coat hanging guy. He gets to hold on to my. He literally, his job is to stand outside the class and hold my coat.
His real job is to take the fall for anything bad that you do by being the fall guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
That's his real job. That's why he follows you.
Fish.
It's not fish. It's not fish.
Oh, I thought Rob Boyan's my boy.
Fish is not.
He's my boy and Boyan.
He's not your fall guy. He's your bodyguard and your minder. Your fall guy. I don't even know what his name is yet. You can give me the name later, but this guy's job is, if you were to accidentally kill someone in a childish rage, this guy would take the gun, wipe your fingerprints, put his fingerprints on it if he didn't think he could get away with faking it, and then take the fall for you.
Like exactly. A professional go to jail person for the mob.
Yeah, he's a made man. He's a made man for sure, right? And
he's
like I really want to.
He's like a guy that hangs around with NFL players and takes the fall if the balls are deflated by saying he's the one who did it. You know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I really want to emphasize the vibes of my character somewhere between like mobster Michael Imperioli from The Sopranos, you know, like that guy, and like Kendall Roy, you know, like somewhere in this spectrum. Right from
Succession. Yes, now that you're watching Succession, I can make all the references.
What's his name? Jeremy Muscle, Jeremy Strong.
I feel bad because
Jeremy Beef like literally is got a porn star name. I've only
seen one episode of Succession. I feel like I need to watch it.
I feel like I need to as well because like I'm trying to draw references like to his characters. So
porn star name. You're right. All right.
I want to kind of like add a little flavor because everyone's given such great flavor to like the atmosphere of the character. Like there's definitely an air of confidence from Athena, but it's more of like a bookish confidence where it's like she's knowledgeable. She kind of goes up to her twin brother and adjusts their polo because like their collar's obviously off. It's like and you know you see her with like her higher collar. That cuts into her body with like gloves. So she has like fingerless gloves that she's like fixing your collar with it. And there's no one following her, but she's just like taking notes already of what you two are up to as you exit, and like already critiquing you with it's like, next time, brother, maybe you should stick with the team.
Okay.
I get in your face. Like, you're going to give me advice? You're going to give me advice right now? Really? You're going to do this? You're going to do it?
Badger cuts you guys off and says, sit down. You're late.
Celeste is already sitting.
Yeah. All right.
What went wrong
I give him
out there?
Fake salute. We got betrayed out there, sir.
That happens.
We separated too far.
You separated too far. Anything else?
We didn't let the mercenary get hit first.
That's what I was saying, Celeste. Like, I'm like that's literally my point.
We overextended ourselves. I think like Athena is like nervously trying to give insights, but doesn't really know. Like she's pulling from like, you know, what would be the smart play. And there's like a hint that she doesn't really know what she's talking about.
Badger sighs and turns around to look at the chalkboard. And he articulates so his voice bounces off the chalkboard to reach all of you, and he says, you can't just be normal mech warriors. I teach mech warriors, but you are not mech warriors. You are nobility. Your father has been betrayed on and off the field of battle. I have been present for some of those betrayals. Life seems peaceful now with our ancient enemy, the dragon. But they have had designs on this world since long before any of you were born, since the beginning of the McDougall bloodline. This was originally a combine world. You need to be prepared to watch each other's backs out there, because anyone can and will betray you for money, ideology, ego, money. The mercenary betrayed you. This should not be a story that should surprise any of you. You're a few months away, Angus, Athena, from your qualifying exams, which you will be taking with your sister. Celeste has been on the battlefield before. I highly expect her to pass. And given her performance today, attempting to remain out of range of enemy guns, accurate firepower, I suspect that she will pass the exam with flying colors. The two of you are the ones I'm worried about. If you want to earn your spurs and honorary commands in the armed forces of the Federated Commonwealth, you need to do better.
I think there's like a sheepish look in Athena's eyes as she's just like momentarily stares at the floor, kind of in pensive.
I mumble under my breath. Maybe there's something wrong with the instructor.
What was that, Angus?
Definitely giggles.
Yeah, I think there's like a.
So this is your response.
Side.
Athena, you look at the ground, and Angus, you make smart-ass comments. You think this is television?
No.
The lives of thousands of people in your noble house and all of Whittington may one day rest in your hands on the battlefield. And when you get there, do you think you can scare the enemy commander off by making a smart-ass comment about how well-trained his command mech is? Or maybe just apologize that you don't think you're ready?
My plan is to buy their mercenaries so they betray them. Works against us or work against our enemies.
Well, that's not the only strategy, brother.
And what doesn't matter? Which pair of mercenaries more?
What if we don't? Well,
What if we don't have the money? What is that what you're gonna say?
what if they have more money?
More money, please.
I'm naive, brother. I understand what you're saying, Badger. Is the protocol here like we call him commander or like
Badger
instructor
or captain?
Okay, Badger or captain.
Captain Badger.
Captain Badger.
What's his real name? I don't even remember.
Philip Davies.
Oh, right.
Right,
Yes.
What's his real
Look,
name? We have a character wiki, you know. I put a huge amount of work into it.
That is a good point.
Look, I'll play it smarter. I did get a kill, but I understand that I overextended my zone.
Overextended your zone. You found yourself trapped between 3 enemy mechs and the rest of your family members willingly sacrificing you. Let me ask you, do you think that one kill was worth your life?
No.
Then it seems like this situation was a failure for you.
It's what I'm saying.
Well, what is a failure but something to learn from?
That's why we're here in this room. Thank you for observing the debriefing process, Athena. What have you learned from it?
To always have an exit strategy.
That is an excellent lesson. One I believe I've taught all of you several times.
Don't put your faith in mercenaries.
Another excellent lesson.
Expect the mercenaries to betray you and let them be the ones who get shot first.
Also, a fantastic lesson.
Build trust amongst those that you must. And I think there's like a sideways glance towards their brother specifically.
I think having relationships you can rely on the battlefield is going to be an important thing moving forward. This is our last group training session. Got 3 months before your qualifiers. I expect all of you to not only pass, but to set the bar.
Okay. What is next then?
Personal training on your own time. Review what you've done so far.
Good. Are we dismissed? I got things to do.
Yes. You're all dismissed. Although Celeste, I'd like
Give
you
you a half-ass
to
salute.
remain. Okay, you're already gone?
Yeah, half-ass salute.
We'll follow that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, Celeste will sit there if he asks her to stay.
Okay. Athena?
I think Athena gets up, looks at her brother who just like storms out of the room, and sighs a little bit in reprehension and follows him.
As you're leaving, as you're out the door, your beeper violently shakes and buzzes and makes a ka-ping noise to let you know that you've received a new message. But we'll follow that in a second as well. The camera shifts to follow Celeste and Badger. The shot is pure 1980s, like the sunlight coming through the room casts both characters into shadow. We can see tons of dust motes everywhere. The sun is setting in the background, and how do I reach them, Celeste? How do I reach these kids? I can't get through to Angus. He's good. He could be one of the best, just like his father. But he just won't listen.
I never knew my father when he was that age, but I can't imagine he was much of a listener either.
It's complicated. When you're that good, sometimes you don't have to listen. People will follow behind you no matter what you do. I don't think Angus is that kind of man, not yet.
Angus is a dullard. That's clear. He might be good at shooting stuff, but the actual leadership part, no. I mean, you can't fix stupid.
Well, that's going to make things real tough on you because I need you to fix stupid. And whatever's going on with Athena, you have to get them ready. You've seen the battlefield. This is going to be a live weapons test past your graduation.
Understood. Do you think, have you heard something, Badger? Do you think there's a war coming? Things have been so peaceful.
I heard that before. Right before the Forced Secession War. Then I heard it again before we were betrayed by Sebastian Bassett. And I heard it again right before we left for the periphery and the War of 39 kicked off. Victor Davian's on his way to the War College. Ohiro Kurita seems like he's locked in for Crown Prince of the Draconis Combine. I expect that the next generation of warfare will be carried out by those two men. In the next 3 to 4 years, they'll be squaring off along the border. We need to be ready.
4 years to prepare then. Appreciate it.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, she'll give like an actual like decent salute, I think, right? Like it's like very buttoned up. And then like, you know, do like a little turn on her heel and smartly head out.
Your electronic device indicates that you have a message from your mother inviting you to tea at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And you also have a message from the Duchess that you need to go see her tomorrow afternoon at your convenience for reassignment.
Okay. I guess yeah, she'll just sort of agree to do both of those, you know, promise to show up. I think Celeste's relationship with her mom is probably still not terrible. But I guess we'll find out.
You stopped by to pick up fish in the at the pilot's bar built here within the Mechwarrior compound. So
what's Fish's cocktail?
So Fish is drinking a particle projectile cannon. The drink is different depending on what nationality you order it in. Like if you get it Free Worlds League style, it has a PPC. That's how he drinks his.
Okay.
He drinks his Marek.
I'll look it up later. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
So when you go in there,
yeah,
this whole facility is built into the spaceport, right? The mercenaries have to cut through town to get here, and then people who are staying in the spaceport or nobility come here regularly. Normally only pilots are allowed in the pilot bar. Fish seems to have been made a special exception, but he sits alone whenever he's in here. And when you enter in, he just finishes downing his drink and then stands up sourly, shaking his fists, leaving a few sea bills on the bar and making his way over towards you.
Did you get the work I asked you? And I would like to imply that I've been having fish dig up dirt on our boy Davies here on Badger.
Sure. Let's make that
My
a
intentions is to blackmail him for a passing grade for this final exam.
roll. Sure. Make a roll.
Sure. So this would be like using fish. So like either like, can I help fish for this, or is this like, does fish
like
make the roll?
Culture criminal, actually.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I would prefer to make the roll as well. Cool. So let me see how this went from here, and this will probably color why he's having this drink. My culture criminal is at a 1, so the stat here is with 0. I guess
I think
my stats are all
charisma-
0. So my stats are all 0. So
Sure.
there's 2d6 plus 1.
8.
What does an 8 give me?
So
It's not a 10 plus.
the kind of but this isn't in the Dark series or Powered by the Apocalypse. This is Stars Without Numbers. 8 is a passing grade. He hands you a manila folder. Davies doesn't have like any horrific slaughter or war crimes or like serious criminal like allegations against him or anything. He had a girlfriend. She left the world. He kept the kid. The big one though is this weird allegation of like there was a pirate raid on a periphery moon sometime carried out on behalf of a pirate admiral who was trying to go legit. That admiral ended up like still being a pirate. Davies was apparently seen talking about like killing all the pirates, which again, they're pirates. So like this is not a war crime. It's the periphery, but still probably not something he wants dredged back up and talked about a lot. Then there's a lot of other crap about just his involvement in helping protect union protesters and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to go on the protect of the union. Okay. Fish, you're my man.
Just to be clear, that
work.
one's really publicly known. Like,
okay.
He took his Battlemech in front of cameras and was basically like, if you harm these people, if the police harm these people, I'm going to do something. Like, you have to let them peacefully protest. It's their right.
Sure.
It was one of the last things we saw about him was that was what he was doing.
Now, is there so I would love to get Fish's take on what I should do with this information. So thinking about calling up my buddy at the Times, or maybe even like the Clarion or something like that. Get this spread around. So maybe then I can tell him it can go away. Or
Fish wraps an arm around your shoulder and uses that to drag you along with him while walking, which is a thing that he does from time to time.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're a little bit taller than him now. Like he's shrunk with age. And in the sort, and he's dressed like a golf caddy as well. He's got like
a 1,000,000%,
on, like a nice olive green shirt that's got like a gold diamond pattern and some filigree running through it. And he just says, "You want to know what I think?
Yeah,
I think you need to stop fucking around trying to mess with this guy. Why not, instead of trying to intimidate him for a good passing grade, you just get good at piloting and you get a fucking passing grade."
Have you seen my co-pilots? My sister's out here doing fucking jack shit as I'm getting freaking Jasper Hiroka in the face with a volley of missiles, man. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah,
like I get my Atlas is betraying me, man. Like what am I supposed to do? I can't carry this stuff in a fucking Enforcer 4R.
Well, get a better mech. All right. Shouldn't surprise you. Your dad has plenty of mechs. There are rumors he's got a king crab somewhere. All right. You want to bring a big boy to that battle? Why don't you show your father that you've got the chops to do it? Bring him something. Don't try to. Do you think this thing with Badger's going to go over well? He's friends with your father. He's friends with the Duchess. He's friends with the Countess Hiroka. You go after this guy, half the fucking planet's going to come down on you like a boot. Forget about trying to stomp on this guy. He's going to stomp on you. What you need to do is not worry about your sisters. If they fail their test, they fail their test. If you pass and they fail, You look like the bigger man. Stop worrying about them and start worrying about yourself. You have greatness in you. I can see it occasionally. And if you'd stop trying to take the easy way, you'd see it too.
Yeah, okay, Caddyshack. All right. Maybe lay off the PPCs a little bit.
Just like
Get a little overheated.
You and Fish and your body man all get into the back of like a Lincoln Town car or something, and a driver just takes you to wherever you're going to next. Is there anything else you want to do on this scene?
I was like, I swear to God, I'm firing you. Like I'm joking. Like when we say this, like I swear to God, I'm firing you the first second I can.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
just so you're aware, like you don't pay him. Your dad pays him.
Yeah, I know. He's like, you can't fire me. I'm paid by your dad. You know, like it's very much like this is just a banter. Like, you know, we're just like, you know.
For you, it's banter. For him, it's a shameful reminder that his entire life is controlled distantly by a man in a high tower.
True. He is a mouse and I am a cat. That is very true. But he's a useful mouse.
I feel like you're just a slightly larger mouse.
I know, but I also have delusions of being a feline. Okay. That's like an integral part.
That would be a really interesting
that's my shit.
Autobiography title, Delusions of Feline. I thought it was bigger than
like
I
a
was.
Canopian.
It's the level of self-awareness
for me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's too self-aware for me.
Yeah,
exactly. Thank you, Eddie. That's 100%. I can't be that self-aware yet.
Is there anything else you want to do with this scene?
I mean, I obviously got to continue setting up all the deals and stuff about this party for Lachlan's birthday.
Yes,
right?
yes.
You know, I did make a mental note of being like, maybe then I shouldn't call up Badger's ex-wife as my +1. Okay.
It's his girlfriend and she's not on planet, but you could send for her if you wanted to.
How fucking awesome would that be?
His ex.
Yeah, that's so fucked.
That is an incredible move.
I know, that would be to show
Just
up
be
arm
clear,
in arm
she's
with his.
definitely over twice your age at this point.
It's the power. There's nothing to do with anything other than just the power.
Sure you
over him.
understand.
I am
Look,
wildly vindictive and overconfident. Yeah, I would to throw this in his. No, okay, but no, you're right.
You say you're Kendall Roy. You say you look like Kendall Roy, but that's a real Roman move.
Yeah, I know that's true. That's too.
Let me ask them. Who are you looking to invite to this party? This is your dad's birthday party?
I'm so glad you asked because actually I'm combining a goal and they're probably mutually exclusive, which means that it's going to blow up in my face, but it's my goal anyways. My goal was put on the best party to impress Lachlan and use that to announce my engagement to my wife. To be named. That's actually my goal. So maybe I should do the dating
You
thing.
don't even have a fiance yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I have girlfriends I could ask. Like we can assume that I have a stable of girls that I know at this point in my life, and I'm not starting from scratch, right?
Now, just to be clear, is Angus still gay? And if so, is he bisexual, or are these all beards as cover?
Beards.
Okay, just making sure I understand where we're coming from.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out like how I'm supposed to do this, right? Like being like, okay, well, what can I do?
I will point out there's a character wiki and there are plenty of male and female characters, so you could reach out to or anyone you could think of from the last series that might be around if you want to bring them to dad's party or potentially offer them a contract marriage. That's really popular in manga right now, specifically Korean manhwa is secretly getting married for contract marriage, but then it turns out you're actually in romantic love together. But you're worried because the contract will run out?
My God. Okay, actually, I would love to flag. What if I am actually bi and I have a beard and I end up falling in love and having to choose between them in like a pure, like a weird man situation?
I am not telling you how the story will go. If that's what you want to try to push.
I wanted, that is an absolutely, yes. That sounds incredible. All right. Well, cool. New goal.
While you decide on that,
side quest unlocked.
yeah. While
Anyways,
you
let me
figure out
ruminate.
who
I'm
you
good.
want your girlfriends or boyfriends or husbands or wives to be,
This is great.
I
Yeah.
want to cut to Eddie. Your pager message is call me and a phone number from a person named Nathan Daryl Korensiki. They are a sort of androgynous scientist on planet who you've consulted with several times. They learned that, you know, you were very interested in the information and technology branch of the Menshikov legacy and have kind of acted as you've grown older to be like, oh, well, you know, here's what's going on right now in the world. Like, here's all the interesting technologies that are being developed. For this person to give you like a 911 call me this is the first time that's ever happened.
So it's worrisome in the way that like there's something happening in the science world or something happening to them.
Could
like
be.
that's, I guess,
Hard to say.
yeah, I'm just trying to get like like an insight or sense of like what potentially. Oh, thank you. I was about to ask like how the hell do I pronounce or spell that?
Nathan Daryl Korensiki? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have like Dothriki for some reason because
High
I
Elven.
missed the first. Yeah, exactly. Where are the apostrophes?
half elf, half Polish.
Most people just call them Thad.
Bad. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is like the moment that you see Athena do kind of like a pistol flip with their cell phone and brings it up as if they're very practiced of taking calls on the go. And they call the number.
Thad answers like, hello?
What is it?
Who is this?
Bad. This is Athena.
Oh, sorry, my hearing aid isn't working that well. Okay, listen, I just got a line. There's a jump ship in system from Interstellar Expeditions. They're selling the Figure 2 science satellite. It just came out from the Free Worlds League, and they're saying that this has all of the top scientific equipment packed into it. Now, look, you may know that when your dad's space station fell many years ago, all of the satellites in orbit were blown up. So it's been difficult to get communications, but also things like satellite imagery and logistics. Science experiments have all been stopped. And while there is a chain of communication satellites, the cons on the other side of the planet, on the other continent, sorry, I'm going on. We could get a good deal for the Figure 2 from these people if you get to a Comstar relay and send a message out into orbit, out to the sun, to one of the jump points.
What? And just so like to kind of help me fuel my techno babble for this era, like what are some of the like the main modules that I would be very interested in as a scientist, like of this satellite?
I mean, as he mentioned, this is a scientific mapping satellite, so it has stuff to carry out like extremely high orbit, but it also has like high res imagers and infrared cameras, and it can act as as a communications satellite.
Wait, you mean that they have a geospatial satellite that can do topography?
I mean, you could park it geospatially. I'm not sure you'd want to, but yeah, sure.
All right, I'll make my move. I'm on the way to Comstar now.
Okay, I'm hanging up now. All right.
Well, tell me more about this. And like they basically like try to get all the details and like how do we angle this?
I don't know how to angle this. I'm a scientist, not a purchasing agent. This is way outside of my price range. It's hundreds of thousands of C-bills. You think I just have that on me at any time?
I'm not asking you for purchasing advice. I'm asking you for how do I angle the value of this for us without selling ourselves too low?
I mean, who are you trying to sell it to someone? What? I don't understand what you're asking.
I'm trying to get us a good deal.
Oh, I think to get a good deal, you have to tell them that you don't really care about it, but maybe if they lowered the price, you'd buy it? Act bored.
I mean, that's okay. Fair enough.
I don't know. It works on television.
I think she's like already given up on this person. Thank you for the lead. And like I know, how do I know this person exactly? Because like I don't want to just be rude.
They're kind of like a mentor for you in some way, very loosely. So, they're definitely not good enough to be an asset. They're just one of many scientists on planet who, you know,
who's relatively smart.
Well, I mean, the thing is that technically information technology and things like that fall under your barony, right? Okay. So they would normally be answerable to you.
Okay.
And this guy, like, most people don't want to deal with a teenager who's also their boss. Yeah. You know what I mean? This guy is this person has basically fallen on the sword for the rest of the scientific community to act as your mentor and doesn't seem to mind, honestly.
So I think there's like an air of respect then, like from Athena, because she obviously recognizes where she's coming from at some level. I think she's at that point of self-awareness, but also like has some cockiness to her still, like because you know she comes from the Mechwarriors line, which is known for its brilliance at some level. So she thanks him. Thank you for the lead. I'll do what I can to get us this satellite this satellite.
I mean, you get the satellite for the planet, not for like you and me. I mean,
I was referring to
think of what I there's plenty of things I'd do with a satellite if I had one.
Well, maybe you can requisition some time then.
Oh.
And she says, until next time, keep me informed if anything interesting pops up.
Oh. Well, there's a new show on television. I've been seeing ads about it.
I don't mean that. But thank you.
You mean scientifically? Yes, of course.
Yes.
All right. They hang up.
Thanks. Yeah, I was gonna say thanks again, Dad. They hang up the line. It's like, oh man, wow, what a character. So yeah, I think she makes her way to the Comstar agency to send off the signal. Because there's definitely interest in that. Because I think it's like her angle is she's trying to also help monitor the assets on the far side of the planet.
Satellite would directly allow you to do that.
Yeah.
It is shaped like a giant. So there's a wall high enough that even a Battlemech would not be able to look into the Comstar compound. And then it's you are led down a specific walled path so that you can't see what's going on in the compound, but it opens up to let you see the massive pyramid of the hyperpulse generator complex that you're headed towards. It's a highly curated experience where they only show you what they want you to see. And there are a lot more Comstar adepts than we've seen in the past. Like, this place has lots of people here, lots of robes, less business suits. When you enter, there are several people just like in blue robed with like silvery interior hoods, wearing like huge medallions, and their robes also have like some sort of markings on them that seem to indicate their level of rank, and sometimes they have a Greek letter, and sometimes there'll be numerals after that. Someone seems to recognize you and shuffles over. They're doing that thing where their robes make it look like they're floating towards you with their hands inside of the arm parts, and they go, "Ah, Baroness, welcome to the illuminated compound of Comstar Communications. How can our enlightened order help you this day?"
Thank you for having me. I would like to send a message. And it's specifically to interstellar systems, is that correct?
Interstellar expeditions. Do you wish to speak to the Interstellar Expeditions jump ship that is entered the system then?
Yes, right away.
Would you like a text message or a direct video communication?
Ooh. I feel like
you pay by the kilobyte.
Yeah, I mean that for sure. Like, what's the man?
One
What's the
C-bill is
move
1
here?
kilobyte, so you could easily send a text message for very cheap, but you would appear to be very cheap.
Right, and that's kind of where I feel like she wants to do something that's not too ostentatious, where they think they can leverage for a higher price, but enough where they know that she has the money to purchase this item.
Very well. He leads you back to an office as you sit down in front of a terminal. It plays a little chime, and we'll come back to this scene later. I don't know whether we want to go with Eric or Sam for the next part.
Sam,
we're going to jump forward a little bit in time till tomorrow. Your mother is in her butterfly sanctuary in the McDougall Estates when she invites you to come visit with her. She's wearing this incredibly psychedelic dress that makes her seem like she is a sort of poisonous red and purple and black butterfly that very much matches the surrounding, and is wearing a significant amount of makeup to make her appear to be more pale, lips redder, but she is still quite a very beautiful woman who is of extremely high power and status and ranking on the planet, despite being born a commoner. And as a power move, she's invited you to the place of her power, the Butterfly Sanctuary. Just like a nice little like scone set up and like small cakes and several different types of teas. And the thing that you really like is set out on the plate before you. You know, your mom has just perfectly arranged all of these things.
Yeah, she'll sit down and probably just start eating like a rude child she is.
Celeste, I wanted to talk to you about your father.
I think like through a mouthful of like croissant or whatever, she's just like, "Oh, well, what do you do now?"
Well, he hasn't done anything in the way that you're implying. It's what I'd like you to do. Your father is a very powerful man. He is controlling of the future of the many houses that the Greater McDougall line has to look over. But I think for too long you've ignored your father. He is a lonely old man who knows that no one loves him except for me. And that gives me a lot of power over him. Athena is distant, preferring to spend her time with the cons. Angus is frankly a moron. There's an opportunity here for you to just show any amount of love and gratitude to Lachlan, your father, in order to gain his trust and more power for yourself. I think you're really just leaving money on the table here.
This kind of self-serving shit is exactly why I prefer to ignore my father.
You may call it self-serving, but you have your own noble line to look after now. There are people who work for you that need protection. You know, I've given up a lot in order to see you raised to the position that you're in. And I ask nothing out of you. And I just want to make sure that you live the best life you possibly can. And I think that asking you to be a little nice to a sick, sad, lonely old man isn't too much, dear. Do you think it's too much? Can you not handle this?
Celeste will look at her and just say, when the reason why you're alone is the consequences of your own shitty actions for years and years beforehand, it's hard to feel a lot of sympathy. I personally think that my relationship with Father is much better the less we see each other, but I'll do this not for him, but for you. If it's important to you, I'll do it.
Well, as long as we're talking about what's important to me, I should add that you're 20 years old now. One of your younger brothers, there are rumors that he's looking to get engaged. Where are my grandchildren?
Okay.
You have a noble legacy to protect. And if you play your cards right, that noble legacy may be the Greater McDougall family as a whole. You could become Lachlan's heir. But you're not going to do it alone. You need more power. You need more resources and protection. And you know what? Frankly, it wouldn't hurt to see you in love for once. You don't have to keep pushing everybody away.
Okay, Mother, I understand.
I have some nice boys and girls of suitable lineages lined up.
No, absolutely. We've talked about this. I promise you I will find someone. I do not need your help.
You promise me?
I promise you, Mother.
This year.
Yes, I will make sure that I have a date to the Karinsky Ball.
January 1st, 3046. If I don't hear rumors of marriage, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, Celeste.
Fine. Fine. Can we be? Are we done? Can we be done? Can I finish this croissant now?
Of course. I'm only doing what's best for you.
Oh, I know that you believe that, and I thank you greatly, Mother.
You're like shooing away a butterfly while you're eating your croissant. It's like, stop landing on.
I love the idea that she knows you're being sarcastic, but accepts the words the way she wants to hear them in her heart.
Yeah.
We cut back to yesterday. EricVulgaris, tell me what Angus is up to. You have we sorted through the pile of people that you want to fake marry or real marry or?
Yeah, I actually posited to the clan here. I was thinking that my heart's with Kendrick Khan.
Kendrick Khan?
But obviously the Khans are not around.
Yes, indeed.
So the idea is that we we meet up when we're in system and stuff like that, but it's never like a solid thing. It's quite literally up in the air.
So I'm gonna oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna pose this to you, Eric, because I think it's spicy.
Okay.
We talked about one of your goals being to do something with the Khan land, the forestry that's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's going to be a twist where you have to choose between that goal and your true love.
Oh yeah, I know. That's what, honestly, it sounds incredible. So I cannot wait to do that. I'm diving head first into that. So, but I was thinking that my beard and the person I would be wanting to go to the ball with would be Maya Hiroka. The scion.
That's interesting because she, like you, is also a massive fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is honestly like the idea here is like, I mean, I want to have the scene honestly with her where we're like, listen, like let's, like we're at the same nightclub or whatever, right?
All right. Let's set the scene then. It is a nightclub. She's 19. You're
the VIP
18.
section.
VIP section. Neither of you are remotely allowed to drink. Fish hates this place.
No, hold on. The drinking age is 18. This is like not America.
All right, fine.
Right?
Sure.
Like, listen, you're just America pilled. Right? The rest of the world operates on this normal. Okay, we can
Fish
drink.
is nearby. He hates being in clubs like this because it means you personally are exposed to so many criminals and ruffians. Maya is telling you a story using her hands of how she is preparing for her upcoming next year Mechwarrior exam. So normally you need to be like 20, 21. The two of you are being, sped line for it because Celeste is taking it. So Lachlan is arranging for all of you to take your exams at once, even though the two of you are a little young, and normally it requires a college degree to pilot a mech. A civilized person would have a college degree, and like a full academic in the electronics and the systems and the military history. And Lachlan thinks you guys got a unique education growing up and you don't need that. But, Maya is describing about how, her marauder was left. She's like, oh my, I have to tell you, I sack pulled it right before I ejected. I took out 2 other mechs. I left 3 mechs on the battlefield. Incredible. Davies told me I did an excellent job.
What's the secret with him, man? That's awesome. Like he like rides my ass all the time. How do you get in his good graces like that? Do I just need to stack pull my stupid fucking enforcer?
I mean, you got to show numbers with him. He's a statistics guy.
Well, then listen, out of anybody who freaking lives on that farm, you're the person I trust the most. What am I doing wrong with an enforcer? This is the backbone of the freaking...
I'm telling you, you can't be using small mechs like that. You got to get in the big stuff, all right? Marauder, Atlas. You need a big mech to carry around big ego, all right? We're not small fries. An enforcer, what are you going to do? Jump behind a little, Jenner or something and try to shoot them from long range? If you want to make big plays, you need big metal.
Big metal. All right. Oh, speaking of big plays.
All right. She raises an eyebrow after tossing back a glass of wine.
Yeah. Oh, 2 more, to the waiter who comes by, right? Actually, I tell Fish to go get us 2 more. Get us 2 more so we can have a one-on-one.
Yeah. Sure. We've got like the Blade Vampire Club dance song going on in the background. And really the camera's just following Fish, like pushing his way through teens and young adults wearing like sleeveless shirts covered in scrunchies and those like friendship bands. And do you guys remember the like thin yellow like light band loops that went around your wrists? They were like the things that you cracked and then they were only good for like an hour.
Yeah,
the club is filled with that. It's like a combination of Blade and Matrix 2.
It's like EL glow sticks.
Yes, yeah.
So
we hear the two of you talking, but the camera's following Fish, hating his life.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Because definitely nightclub, definitely like John Wick Euro trash music energy kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? Unironically, though, love the music of the films, but important before we actually role play. Clothes. What is she wearing? Because I know what I'm wearing. I'm wearing one of those like those like ostentatious Gucci sport jackets or like Letterman jackets, right? But rather than like where like the club would be or like the Gucci logo and stuff, it's like a golden embossed like urban mech.
So Maya Hiroka
like Prada
is planning to take over and is being groomed to take over Yusuf Wheat's mercenary company.
I know.
So
it would be a great combo.
She's taken over the last year or 2 that you've known her. She went from wearing like skirts and flamboyant, ostentatious tops with lots of jewelry to wearing a much more subdued, like military brat stuff. Right now, she's just straight up in a tank top with a jumpsuit. You're not really sure how she got in the club with the dress code.
All right, I'm gonna ask a very important question. Is she actually like a disaster gay like my character is?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, perfect. So this is because that's how I wanted to leverage.
What do they call it now? U-Haul lesbian? 100%.
U-Haul lesbian. Yeah. Yep. Like the very okay. So this is exactly the pitch I wanted to send. Right. It's like, listen. Speaking of big place,
Yeah, I'm listening.
Lachlan's getting, Dad's party's going to come up, and I'm organizing it, right? It's going to be the place of the century. It's going to make this place, this is going to look like some crack den.
I got to be honest, I don't know a lot about your father, but I don't think
he's a piece of shit. What do you need
decor or noise will impress him.
Yeah, I know. He was basically grew up on Solaris, so I know. But listen, I want you there with me.
Okay.
And I want to announce, because everyone's going to be there. I want to announce that maybe you and we should join houses. Like, think about it. I like I'm not good at doing the business deals. I am not Lachlan. My persuasion stuff. I'm better at like intimidating people, but the truth is that she intimidates me. So like I can't do it. So I'm like, listen, total open relationships. We can have the Comstar watch us touch our legs to consummate or whatever, and then we go our separate ways. We live our separate lives. But think of the power. Think about my backing when I inherit, you inherit. It's like,
I mean, are we talking unifying House Hiroka and House McDougall?
Well, I mean, like, I am kind of the scion. She knows that that's not true.
Yes.
Like, okay, yeah, for sure.
Let me further explain this, because I don't think I explained it well. As Count, Lachlan has stepped back. So he no longer votes on the council. But this was actually a genius play by him, because if you remember, when he got married to his wife, they did not combine their family names so that they would still have 2 votes. You remember that part?
Oh, yeah.
So he stepped back. Now you, as one of his 2 barons, gets a vote, and Marianne Getsuga also gets a vote. So he's still continuing to pull the strings while publicly appearing like he's not in power anymore.
Then I call in my Prince of Persia Sands of Time and rewind and restate my proposition to her.
Yep.
About maximizing as a business deal. You think of it like a business deal.
Okay. But the same question is from her: are we combining houses? You need an heir. I need an heir. I'll be honest, you're an attractive guy. I don't feel any level of connection with you.
Connection has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
We don't have to connect our bank accounts. It's entirely for power.
How does this make me more powerful? Explain that.
Hang on a second. Like, no, this isn't out of character. Time out. Just take a step back, just so I understand the terrain, because I want to, argue for her the right way. As I understand it, Lachlan's obviously still like one of the major top dogs, and Hiroka is below, right? Like Hiroka is on hard times, actually, a little bit, right?
It's true, but they are still a county.
Yeah, I know they got the dog in them. I understand.
Yeah,
but like, obviously, that extra strength of Lachlan giving them that little boost, maybe some cash injection, maybe some kind of trade deal stuff, even more like. That can go a long way, right? It's like, this is an obvious proposition, right? Am I misreading this?
She gives you a caddish look and says, "Let me give you a counter proposal."
Oh, here it goes. All right,
I'm the featured countess. All right, it's gonna. But my younger sister Carmen, I have to do something about her so that she's not a threat to my power.
Mercenary company.
The mercenary company is mine. That's how I'm going to expand my power.
Stick her in a locust.
How about I stick her in a marriage with you?
Spit out my champagne. Deal.
She's quiet. Right. She's discretional. She's not going to talk. If she's with you, I don't have to worry about her challenging the county from me.
Oh.
You get the marriage. Maybe you have a kid. Maybe you have many kids. Maybe you don't. That's none of my concern.
I can't.
You carry on whatever activities you want to. I guarantee that Carmen won't say or do anything publicly about it.
See, now you're getting the better end of the deal.
What do you need? What would make this a bargain for you? She
My
takes
dad
a
would think
wine
I'm
glass
settling.
from Fish,
Yeah.
who's finally arrived. You say my dad would think I'm settling.
Yeah.
Fish steps back so that he's not part of this conversation anymore, but he rolls his eyes towards her because, he thinks, what your dad thinks about you is, Anyway, she says,
Yeah.
settling.
No, I'm sorry. I'm using my dad as a prop for the family name.
Yeah.
Like, I can't marry down. That's crazy.
Marry down? My sister?
Yeah. It's not you.
Yeah, that's true.
And think of all the fun little cuddle bedtime talks we can have.
Are you making this weird?
Yeah. I'm joking. I'm deliberately making it weird on her. Listen, I know. Look, think about it.
No. You think about this. You've got 2 siblings with a third one on the way up. Celeste has a very established position of power with the Duchess. Now, I don't think Athena is one to threaten you, but if she does come at you, I don't think you're going to see it coming. You want to get a jump on them? Marry my sister Carmen, and my house with my mother and my stepfather will back your play to lead the Greater McDougalls. I think you already know that Yusuf
that's fucking good.
is good friends with your father. I think you know that Philip is good friends with your father. There's a lot of people whose names sound awfully familiar. And you know what? That birthday party's coming up. What if, let me throw in some bonuses. What if the whole Hirokin family shows up backing you for your engagement announcement to Carmen?
I'll have to take it back. I have to think about it.
Oh, now you got to think about it. Huh? All right. Well,
all right. Deal.
I got nothing. Okay. You
Deal.
say deal? She
Yeah.
spits on her hand
Shaking.
and puts the hand out. Yeah.
Me too. Honestly, that sounds like a good idea because that was going to be my requirement is like, if I'm going to play cover for you and your threats to power, well, I have some obvious threats to power. And if they're willing to help me out here, which is what they're saying, or at least what I'm thinking that they're saying, which would be a fun miscommunication later. This would be great. Yeah.
So you have now gotten assurances from Maya that Tamari, Yusuf, Carmen, and Sophie, with Philip Davies, will all show up to support and back you at the birthday party. Can Maya pull this off? We don't know, but I guess we'll see.
I know. Oh, yeah, I know. This is going to be incredible. Yeah. I love it.
Who are we going to next here? I think it's probably Eddie in your phone call.
And here's the Succession theme song.
So yeah, I literally have that going on in the background right now.
Hello, this is Martin Diggle. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still not used to the zero gravity. It's like a man in a pinstripe suit trying to keep himself in place. He's just floating around. Like he adjusts his clothes, but because again, no gravity, he's just constantly adjusting them. Can I ask what this is about, Miss Menchikov?
Yes. Hello, Martin. It is a pleasure to meet you.
He's slowly rotating upside down while you're talking.
Yeah, sure. I think like her she simulates her background. No, I don't actually do that. That's going to cost like
Comstar doesn't have that level of technology.
Yeah. Background video. No, I wanted to welcome you to the system, and I hear that you are here with some fascinating scientific expeditionary adventures.
We
for
do
plants.
have several Figure 2 satellites on board.
Oh, is that right?
Indeed.
Well, your oh gosh, sorry, my mind is blanking.
These are fresh first line of production run that we are acting as the exporters for. Science satellites have spent so much time away. The secession wars, that era of human history really destroyed exploration, weather monitoring, atmospheric sampling, geological surveys. The Figule 2 is a return to hundreds of years old technology, finally making its way back into orbit. How can I get one orbiting your world?
I mean, your reputation precedes you. It just so happens that I agree with you wholeheartedly. It has been so long since we have had strong scientific discoveries on the worlds, especially here in Whittington. But you see, we are still recovering from the last wars. So obviously, I want to push this as hard as I can. But if you can make it worth my time and help our world be one of the many to follow in the path of science once again.
I agree wholeheartedly. And let me say, I would love to sell you this piece of technology. But there is an Interstellar Expeditions member on planet who has worked with your house before.
Is that right?
Sir Maximilian Jacobson.
Ah, yes.
Your father is apparently in a hostile takeover of his company right now. I think until that situation is resolved, I'd find it very difficult for us to offer this technology up directly to you. Feel free to buy it from local markets, from resellers.
Just for context, AP, is there a way that I can position myself separately from my father in this dealing?
Absolutely. It will take a dice roll.
Okay. So that's what I'd want to do. And I'll just I think the way that it comes out is, you see here, I am a scientist. Sure, my father has business dealings with Jacobson, and they may not be the nicest, but my father and I do not always see eye to eye. I am here from a scientific perspective. I want to bring this to the world, and I want to show my father that his dealings with Jacobson do not guide our future.
That's a hard sell, because you're basically saying, I want to declare independence from my father, and I'm going to use you to do it. So good luck on this roll.
Well, I mean, I guess like my goal wasn't to be fully independent, more of like I didn't want the hostility between them.
No matter what you're doing, this was going to be a tough roll to start with.
Fair enough. Okay.
It is a persuasion charisma roll, so I hope that you're very good at that, or very
Jesus. Lucky. Persuasion charisma?
Mm-hmm.
Don't have anything in that. Oh wait, I do have persuasion.
Okay, that's good. So you don't get a -1. I do have
science. Can I like leverage my science here to give me a bonus to my persuasion roll?
No, because nothing you said revolved around science. The whole situation is about.
I said that my whole goal was to pursue the science, like use this in scientific pursuits.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're not. That's not what they're concerned about. They're concerned about Jacobson and your dad.
What about bureaucracy? Could I leverage that in a way to boost this?
I'll give you a +1 on this then.
Okay. I know. I'm learning the system as well, and I'm like trying to leverage as much as I can.
Technically, in the system, that doesn't exist at all.
Yeah. That's
really?
The thing.
According to the system, you roll the stat, you roll the skill. That's the only thing. There's you can get help from other players. But beyond that, there's no like forking or anything.
I'll allow this though. You have to respect the hustle.
Thanks. Sometimes
I'll give you a +1.
Okay.
So you start with a 0 because your skill is 0.
I start with a 1. Well, my rank is 1.
So you have a 0.
So I have a 0.
If you don't have a point in it, you have a -1.
Then I have a -1. So then I would get a 1 because of that +1 you are offering.
Yes. And what is your charisma?
It is a 14.
I think that's a +1 as well. So you have a +2.
Okay. And it's been a hot minute. Is it 2d6?
2d6.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab these here in the middle. Whoa, boxcars!
Those went up double sixes and came back down double sixes. Unbelievable.
I love it. So that's 14 total.
Yeah. All right. This guy
Those
is
are roll boxcars. Incredible.
quietly working on a calculator, trying to see how much extra he could charge you for this. You run him some sad story about
The science that I'm doing that leverages the technology and the potential that I could unlock with the pre-tech that I've gained access to.
He offers you a contract for this satellite at a slight discount. The whole thing includes a stipulation that you appear publicly with an Interstellar Expeditions corporate member and make a joint statement about how this will be used to push forward the future of Whittington in your capacity as Baroness Menshikov.
Okay.
The member will be chosen by them.
Oh boy. I mean, do I see any like red flags in this deal? Like,
I mean, the red flag is that almost certainly they're going to make you go on camera with Jacobson.
Okay.
And this will be used as ammunition against your father. Like, daughter separates from father, going a different path. Is science more important than politics? Shit like that is going to be on every news page if you do this.
I think I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Because I have an idea of what I want to do. I'm gonna have to talk to my father to give him the heads up.
Okay. You will be seen as standing with Jacobson publicly. All right. You get your hands on a pretty good deal. It's going to take them a week to get it shipped down planet and then positioned wherever you want in orbit. I assume you want to place it geostationary above the logging camps.
Not necessarily. Like, I mean, I would like to do where it does regular passes, but I wanted to kind of orbit the regions to kind of get a lay of the land and also just give us some visibility down there.
So you get partial coverage.
Yeah.
All right. I think that covers a lot of the stuff I wanted to start with. Okay. So I do want to say that you get someone on, like, flipping through channels is what we're seeing next. It's a show about 6 members of the Federated Sons Draconis March militia. They spend all day hanging out in the dining facility, drinking coffee and talking about how great their lives are and engaging in hijinks. The show's called Comrades. And it's basically like a straight up recruiting ad for the Federated Sons and the Armed Forces of Federated Commonwealth. The person watching it is just like, oh, Comrades. And like they flip through it and there's a ad of multiple tanks, like tank companies that are moving together across Whittington's beautiful plains west of the city and like executing turns, doing wheeling and flanking maneuvers, like tank companies weaving in and out together, firing all of their main guns at the same time, while a fife and drum play a very British tune. And this appears to be a recruiting ad for the militia of Whittington specifically. And then we get like a newscaster who's just like, and there are rumors today of a militia forming on the southern part of the capital. Disaffected citizens who believe that their rights are being trampled upon are gathering up military material, and some say industrial mechs, in preparation for action against the government. We'll have more for you at 11. And with those things happening in the background, let me ask, does anyone have any plots they want to push forward at this point?
I do.
Yeah, we all do.
Go ahead.
That means I'm doing my job.
Scene. Yeah.
I still have to talk to the Duchess at some point.
That's true. Yeah. But who wants to go first?
I got to talk to my dad. And obviously
let's do that first. Let's see Lachlan.
Yeah.
Like, what does Dad need us to do? And second of all, what do I need to do also to like do this party right? Right? Like, is it what are the problems that I need to solve in order to get the party done?
Let's set the stage. You are up on the space station. Lachlan is, his back is a little crooked. His shoulders are a little hunched. Even in zero gravity, he doesn't look well. He's got liver spots. His skin is a little bit more leathery. It's gone a little dark. But he still exudes this mask that you can see through, but no one else can. You're the only one that can see through your old man, of like charisma and confidence and power. When he floats through the command center here, everybody is suddenly, all eyes are on him. Operations picks up. Ships are being moved at a faster rate. Just being in the room makes the room more efficient. That's the Lachlan McDougall way. He gestures for you to come join him in this like ready room that only he has access to, with this beautiful view that looks directly down onto Whittington. Nice. As the space station slowly turns to generate gravity, the world turns underneath you.
He's like eating like lobster or something.
Oh,
like
I love that. Yeah. So there's enough gravity that he, sits down and he's got like a nice spread out for you of,
he's eating cherry tomatoes like in that Lord of the Rings.
Denethor? Because he's the steward of God.
It's not that bad. But he does have a nice meal set down for the two of you, and he gestures and says, all right, sit.
Yeah.
Angus.
For sure.
What's going on with you?
Dan. Just want to give you a heads up. I've been looking like I secured a deal with the Hirokans.
Boy, what kind of deal are we talking about?
The marriage kind. He knows my inclinations, and so he knows this is like a mess up thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to guess that you're probably not marrying Yusuf.
I wouldn't count it out. He's just playing hard to get.
Philip?
But no, thinking about Carmen.
Carmen?
Yeah, what do you think about that, Dad? We get along well. You've seen the photos.
What are you afraid of?
You're not my psychologist.
Yeah, but I'm your father. Let me ask you a question. What are you afraid of, boy? You afraid people are going to see you're gay? Who cares?
No. Please.
It's 30-45. Who cares if you're gay?
No, I'm just...
Get married to who you want to get married to. Have you even met Carmen?
That's not the problem.
What's
the problem is... Well, I mean, the problem is that we're gonna be buddies with the Hirokans again. And listen,
that's no problem for me. If you want to get married to Carmen Hanabi Hiroka, that's no problem for me. But if you're doing this because you have something to hide, I think that's a weak move. So you got to tell me, is this a power play? Are you finally stepping in front of your sisters to push yourself to first place? Or is this just because you're afraid of what the public's going to say about you? What's your boyfriend think about this?
Well, when he's back in system, I'll let him know. But in the meantime, you know how well this is going to play in the press. And I was thinking about making the announcement during your birthday.
During my birthday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. Everyone's going to be there. I'm obviously the successor. I know you haven't named me yet, but like I know that's just a formality. So like I feel like we're on a good plan. He gives you a really flat
stare here that tells you, like, depressingly, heartbreakingly, that is not the case.
I know, but he won't tell me. But yeah, I know that that's right, Dad. Like that's true. This is happening, right?
If you can get the Hirokans behind you, I think that puts you in a strong position ahead of your sisters.
I was already in a strong position.
He gives you a flat look that indicates that is not true.
All right. All right, no, but also I wanted to get your actual take on something.
Yeah.
I know you've had to fight alongside a lot of bad pilots.
Yusuf was
what?
horrible. Let me be very clear. We mocked him relentlessly.
Yeah.
He could not hit the broadside of the barn for the first few years we knew him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about my enforcer. David's giving me a hard time with it. I'm flanking with it. I'm eating missiles left and right. I'm not
giving
getting
you a
any
hard
cover.
time about it? About the enforcer?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd he say?
Yeah. Look, I'm getting blown up and having to force retreat before I even secure anything.
What did Davies say about it? That doesn't sound like something Davies would say.
I don't remember what he said. He said, "Don't trust mercenaries."
Well, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You don't need to lie to me. You want to get me on your side about something. Just tell me the truth.
I'm out of character. That's bait gift for sure.
I know.
And he's like, "Look, Dad, I know. I'm being honest with you, Dad. Like, you know me. I'm a fucking mirror. Listen, I want to do better, but I feel like I can't make up for my bad teammates. Fucking, like Celeste is okay, I guess, but like, I don't know. I need to do something different, but I don't know what. Like, is it a new mech? Maybe. What do you think that'll make the difference? I looked at Robinson's and I saw like the new Black Knights are looking pretty good. I was thinking maybe that could work, but like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm rambling until he cuts me off and tells me, because like I'm going through like the advantages of maybe grabbing a Whitworth and being like a tactical ranger, and like there's options though. What if I went on the lighter side and went like a fire starter or a javelin and brought the heat with some Inferno missiles? I'm like rambling on because I want to hear what he says.
He waits a little while and he says, finally, all right, I'll offer you a deal. You want a Black Knight? I'll give you the William Wallace to use up till your test.
You mean through the test?
Through the test, sure.
Okay.
Succeed or fail.
Yeah.
You want to keep that mech after the test. You and both of your sisters have to pass. I can't be embarrassed.
Well, then you're having the wrong lunch conversation with me. You picked the wrong.
I need you to step up and carry your sisters. You want to make power plays to get the Hirokins on your side? Amazing. Exactly what I was hoping I'd see out of you. You want bigger mechs? I'll give you a bigger mech. You want to make a play to be my heir? I'm all for it. You got to prove that you can lead this family. And that means if you think Athena and Celeste are dragging you down, you got to be strong enough to lift them up. You want to lead this family. You have to be able to take care of your sisters and your younger brother. You have to be able to take care of this world. You think you can push your way to the top, but you can't. You have to lift everyone else up with you, because that's how I did it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's exactly how you did it. Yep. Did you? Yep, for sure. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, he cracks one of the lobster claws off and gets a little fork in there. Yeah. All right. He goes, "Yeah, I did lift everyone up with me."
Yep.
When I started,
like,
I was
knowing that he secured all of these backroom deals and like on this stuff to get onto where he is. It's amazing. Yeah. All right.
When I started, I was a baron. The Hirokins were barons. Sebastian was a baron. And I managed to secure Countdom for all of us. I managed to secure a good life for you, your sisters, your younger brother. You don't know how good you've had it with peace. All I'm asking is that you show me that you're better than them by carrying them on your back. If they're such a weight, be strong enough to lift them. I'll have the William Wallace's command codes sent to you tomorrow morning. You better start practicing with it because it's an older model.
Of course. You got it, Dad. Thanks, Dad. I love you, man. You're the best.
Show me what you can do.
Look good for the party. I'm getting ready to leave, right? Look good for the party. You know everyone's going to be there.
Yeah, I got the latest fashion at a Solaris.
All right.
It's a lot of dazzle camouflage. It's a lot. I'm sorry, Sam. I can't do a very good Lachlan.
You're good.
I thought that was pretty good.
That was great. No. Thanks for indulging me. I know I feel like I've kind of been hogging the spotlight today, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, but we gotta set you up to fuck up really badly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. This is the roller coaster where everything's going uphill, and then I'm just gonna immediately go sideways and down and down and down and down and down. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I'm just like you're building your crank. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm just hearing each click as you like add layers to the level.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. I'm gonna try to accomplish it. Like I'm not setting myself to fail. I'm just shooting really hard. Something land among the stars, etc.
Exactly. Yeah.
Worst case, I stack pole. So good foreshadowing.
As long as you take 2 mechs out with you, you could look real good. Sam, I want to cut over to you. What's Celeste got on her docket?
Well, she needs to go see the
yes,
Duchess.
the young Duchess. You find her in her office. 24 years old now, looking like a young urban professional woman. Business suit, immaculate pantsuit material, delicate jewelry with the exception of the subdued tiara in her hair, which makes it clear that she is the Duchess of this fucking planet. She could just look like an everyday, very nice businesswoman. Instead, that tiara exudes power in her office. She's got one of those like open format where her office isn't private and like all of her staff and secretaries are able to get quick access to her. So she has you sit across from her desk, but like in the background, there's like dozens of people processing all of the world's bureaucracy. And she is working on some paperwork in a power move while you're sitting down. And she says, Celeste, good to see you.
Of course, Duchess.
I've got a problem that requires a solution.
I hope I can help.
I hope you can help as well. The militia commander and our local saviors from the Draconis March militia, regular federated forces, have been butting heads lately. I need someone to make sure that they don't end up making news. I need my planet looking like it is working hummingly. So if you could keep Captain Moreau and Major Bordeaux from getting into problems with each other and keep them out of the media, I'd appreciate that. And I have to tell you, this is not a job I would give to just anyone, because they're probably not going to listen to either of you. Sorry, neither of them are going to listen to you. You have no authority. You have nothing to offer them, as far as I know, but I need it done anyway.
Consider it done, Your Grace.
Were you going out to see the Yohei people? Pack Charlie?
Pack Charlemagne.
Pack Charlemagne, yes. You're going to see them soon?
I was planning on heading there as soon as I have a chance.
Make sure that they remember that they aren't just corporate shills, that they're an integral part of the defense of this planet. I've been hearing troubling things.
Understood. I'll do what I can. I should let you know I had tea with my mother today.
That must have been interesting.
wants me to make a play for my dad's estate.
Is that feasible? You are loyal to me. I don't think your dad's going to give you shit. I think he's still upset about that time I fired him.
That's probably true, but...
He's probably more upset about that time I sent him into exile 6 weeks ago.
Look, I think it's just as unlikely as you do, but I had to promise her I would at least try. You know how my mother can be.
Yeah. She's been trying to set me up for ages.
Oh, don't worry. We had that conversation as well.
Well, in that, at least, she's right.
You're gonna talk to me about that?
Just because she's the one saying it doesn't mean it's wrong.
I'm just saying, Duchess. I'm just an upjumped commoner. It's important for me to get married, but not nearly as important as for the great Duchess of Whittington.
She flatly lays her pen down and looks at you and says, just a commoner, not born a noble. You are the house of Reincolt. You were personally selected of noble blood to defend my house to the death. The choices you make are extremely important to me. Your house's survival is my survival. And you are no up-jumped commoner. I think of you as my closest advisor. No matter what the nature of your blood, which, again, you are the daughter of Lachlan McDougall. That doesn't mean much, but it does mean something.
I understand. Thank you, Duchess. I appreciate your kind words, and I'll do my best to get this done for you.
Bring me what I need.
As you wish. May actually, I guess she probably would need to be dismissed, right? She would say
this is a noble meeting. She just point to somebody and just say, Jeremy will validate your parking on the way out.
Thank you. Yeah, she'll bow and leave.
Okay. Who's next on the big plays? Because this last play is probably going to be the last play. Okay.
So currently I am needing a little bit more information about the lay of the land, or at least a reminder of some of it.
Okay.
So you've already hinted that Lachlan is attempting a hostile takeover of Jacobson Unlimited.
By hinting it, I flatly said it. Yes.
Yes.
He's been trying to do that for the better part of 2 decades, though.
Got it. Okay.
It's a white whale.
Yeah.
Do I have a sense of like how he's been attempting that?
So Lachlan has grown in power and Jacobson has lost power. Jacobson used to be a massive exporter across 2 major nations and a periphery nation. Because he sided with Lachlan during the last war, the last big war, his contracts in the Draconis Combine were canceled, and all of his stuff there was essentially stolen by the state. That was a huge loss. Then the periphery nation, the Outworlds Alliance, did the same thing, like seized his vessels as best they could and seized his stuff. So, like his ability to remain an exporter of consumer goods is really tough when he can't export or import anything except within the Federated Sons. So how he has, as he's lost power, he did make a deal with Lachlan. And that deal was that he could build personal drop ports at his facilities so that rather than go through the spaceport, he would land directly at his factories to save time. Okay. And Lachlan was always intending to keep his grift going, to like force everyone into his power. So he thought he could continue to run those grifts, but it turns out that at those personal drop ports, the only person that Jacobson needed to bribe were the local inspectors. He didn't need to pay huge amounts of money to Lachlan McDougall. He needed to make small payments to the inspectors. So he saved tons of money, vastly picked up his turnover time, and kept things rolling. Lachlan would routinely fire people and replace them with somebody loyal. And then for pennies on the dollar, Jacobson would bribe them. So it just it became a war of intense corruption and criminal activity, which is now pouring over into the streets as actual violence.
So in some ways, like this,
Lachlan has made everyone around him worse.
Right. Okay. So what basically the angle that I'm trying to figure out is whether or not I approach Jacobson directly in making a deal before we go public with this like purchase that I've made for scientific efforts, or approach my father. And I'm feeling like I'm leaning towards, well, okay, this is another lay of the land thing, because like one of the things that I didn't see with the wiki is like who's like who are the eligible bachelors that I saw some, but I only saw like a couple.
Hiroshi Genji is the heir apparent of House Genji. Of course, you've got, I guess technically Jacobson, if you or Piers Sauron are both now unmarried. Philip Davies, unmarried, if you're into 37-year-olds. Phillips, I believe it's his uncle Alfred, is divorced. Triton Bassett Latour will be back in world in a few months. Whether he'll be arrested and executed is a question the media has been asking themselves.
Fair enough. Okay.
Kendrick Khan, always an option.
But I already know that my brother's eyeing him, right? At some level.
I don't know how secret that's been. I'll let the two of you answer that question.
Fair enough.
How discreet is your relationship with Kendrick Khan?
Eric?
You would know about it.
Okay. Okay. So I think
you may need to look off-world or for more young noble men if that's what you're looking for.
Well,
the dating scene on planet is smaller than it used to be. I will remind you that this year the Duchess intends to raise a number of commoners to nobility and open new baronies up.
Oh, really?
So you don't need to get married immediately, but
well, the reason why I was asking that is because I was trying to figure out whether or not I could make a play to succeed where my father had failed and absorb Jacobson through this deal of like, hey, would you rather my father win or someone, or I will work with you in some way, shape, or form?
Sorry, so your plan is to marry Jacobson?
Not necessarily.
Okay. I don't know what your alternative to that plan is. Like,
well, so my alternative was to basically put it as a business proposition.
Okay.
But I don't know if I have a solution yet. I was thinking about it while everyone else is doing their scenes, but
if you want to hold off on this until next week and think about it, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I want to toss back out there into the world then if anyone has a final scene they want to sneak in.
I got nothing.
Let me make sure I understand what we're juggling on the table right now then. There is a birthday party that is being planned. Guests need inviting. So far, I don't even know if you've invited your sisters and your younger brother. The only people I do know are that The Herokas are supposed to show up for you to impress your father. So birthday party's underway. Somebody's getting a new mech. That's for sure. New science satellites going out. That's going to be a big deal. You know, that's going to be something that'll be in the news for a week. And everyone will be talking about how much they know about this satellite and how just things that are totally wrong about satellites for an entire week. Whoever the world's version of Neil deGrasse Tyson will show up to correct people and be very annoying in the process. Oh, Celeste. How do I summarize your storyline right now? You have to solve diplomatic problems, get married, impress your mother, impress your father, secure power, protect the Duchess. You have a lot going on very quietly. Well, this was our first Out of Mech episode. How we doing, guys?
Love it.
Good start.
I think we're getting kind of a feel for this season for sure, and what's at play. Yeah, I am curious to see. Like, I feel like it'd be pretty ballsy not to invite Celeste and I to Dad's birthday party.
Don't forget Menelaus, your younger brother.
Yeah, what's the situation with that? Wait,
he's 15 years old. He's just young.
Okay.
It's a squire, right?
Sure. Probably for the original squire, Philip Davies.
I mean, one play I was thinking is bringing Jacobson as a +1 to the.
Jeez, he's 67 and you're 18.
Look.
What I love is that this is the reverse situation. You're rabidly scouting him now. You're like, what if I could get his power instead of my dad doing it?
I mean, hey, if my dad's been after it for 20 years, trying to absorb it.
Here's what I'll have to say about you chasing Jacobson. Good fucking luck. You better roll boxcars to make this happen with a convincing argument. You are a third of his age. He's 67. He needs to be retiring, not thinking about marrying a girl.
I'm not saying we're going to marry.
All right.
The business deal is that I would take over. I would help him retire.
I mean, that's essentially taking his company from him. You better have a really good fucking proposition.
Yeah.
And double sixes.
And double sixes? You're not setting the bar low, are you? Oh,
he has no reason to trust you or give you any power. You are literally like, I want to go against my father's rival, who he never managed to defeat, and get him on my side. What do I have? I have nothing to offer him.
Actually, I might have a couple of things. We'll see.
Great. You better get those ducks in a row and then push them all over a cliff. All right? Those ducks better be immaculate when they hit the water at the bottom of that cliff.
All right.
Let's see here. Where are my notes about how experience works?
Oh, yeah. Did we get experience the last time?
No. You don't get experience during mech combat like that. I don't know that anyone completed a goal, although I think I am missing goals. I think I'm missing one goal.
I mean...
And it might be Sam.
My goals are Pack Charlemagne and...
Yeah, Pack Charlemagne and...
Kenneth Cross training
series. So it's Eddie. The only goal I have from you are protect the Khan's path to gain information from the Khans.
I mean, technically, my purchase of the satellite was to protect the Khan's assets in some level. But
I even asked you if you wanted. Yeah, that's an incredible stretch. I will not give that to you.
Information is power. No,
if you had gone into the meeting and said, I have assets on the far side of the world that I want to protect, I would have given you that. But what you said was, I need to do science.
Yeah, but the science was the leverage that it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, so I mean, one of the other goals that I was potentially angling was finding a way to not necessarily ally myself, but like connect with other business assets on planet, and Jacobson Unlimited was on that list. So there's the potential there. And then find a suitable suitor was
well, you get
another
two
goal of mine.
goals. So which one do you want out of that?
Oh,
One of
I
them is
see.
protect the cons. The second one, is it business assets or is it suitors?
Let's go with business assets.
All right, gotta Pokemon those business assets. Gotta catch them all. Gentlemen, any notes for end of episode? Closing statements? Counselor? Nothing?
Family's absolutely coming to Dad's birthday party. There's no way I would cut them out.
Very
Right?
well,
They have
very
to be there and watch me succeed.
Ah, there it is. There it is. They have to.
Or
And
fail.
I need them to say how great the party is. Right?
Ah. Of
I
course.
see. Okay.
That kind of stuff, right? So for sure.
So this isn't really your dad's birthday party. This is really you flexing your power.
Yeah. That's always been that way. Yeah.
Just making. Listen, the audience needs to understand the context of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I forgot that they don't have a direct feed into my brain. Anyways, thank you.
That's
great game.
Yeah, that's
Thanks
it
for the
us.
game, guys.
You know what? We'll see each other next week, and then we'll be off for a while. So better let it seep in there. You better let that the next episode. You better just let that boil for a little while, friends.
Then we go to the classic mid-season 6-month break.
Mid-season. It's the 3rd episode. We'll be back. Have a good time zone, friends at home.